It's been nearly 7 months since the last Road to Max Damage episode, and in that episode we had talked about future goals, what we've accomplished, and pretty much what the gains we had made since the last episode. And in today's episode, we're going to be pretty much going over and resetting ourselves for the future of the Road to Max Damage series. When I started this series over 2 years ago, I had the idea and the thought that I wanted to record and track all of my process and have you guys come along with the journey with me to pretty much see what it is like at the end game trying to push maximum damage on your character. And well, as a lot of you guys probably had figured, the further that you go into the end game, the more challenging that it actually becomes to gain damage. In last episode, we had hit the server's first eternal boots for Adele, and in today's episode we're pretty much going to be going over what has changed with our account and pretty much future goals that we want to set for ourselves. Since we have almost accomplished every single goal that we have set in the Road to Max Damage nearly 2 years ago, I think it's time to reset the series since it is episode number 10 and set a new set of goals for the future to come. So in the last episode we had hit these eternal boots, and I'm going to be honest with you, I was very optimistic after hitting these boots. I thought I was going to go on a very long streak of hitting a ton of items, but of course RNG is RNG, and some things don't always work out for you the way that you want, which that's totally okay. And in MapleStory, the game is all about RNG and pretty much how long you can continue to go if you're getting knocked down and having bad RNG. Over the last 6 months, we've nearly almost made 0 gains, but all of that can change with pretty much 1 week because that is the name of the game. So recently we were running X-Lot and this happened. I'm not gonna lie, seeing a double drop is something that is very crazy, and the way that this happened was pretty hype if you ask me. Both items spawned in on the right side of the screen, and we had got a TC and a Zerk, and this was pretty much after being dry for about 6 months with absolutely 0 gains. Even on Cube Sale we didn't really make any gains at all, so was super optimistic, super hyped about this. These are the 2 items that I do still need, and well, we did tap the Zerk to 19 stars. We were pretty much going to be settling on the Zerk for the time being because it was a pretty decent damage gain. It was like 100 converted or something like that. It was like 7 mil CP gain, so I was okay with settling. And you guys know me, I usually am not okay with settling on anything. It's always 22 or bust, but with the new boss Baldrix coming out, I want to ensure that I get as much damage as possible to potentially clear that boss when it does come out. Now the TC, I was 100% going to be settling on 21 stars, and the TC went to 20 stars instantly, but unfortunately we failed 20 stars 7 times, and then we boomed going to 21 stars. Now that was absolutely devastating, I'm not gonna lie, especially after being 6 months dry and all you had was a 19 star Zerk. I was pretty down bad, I'm not gonna lie. That was quite the disappointment when that happened. So the next day I was kind of thinking, and I was thinking to myself, well, I don't think 100 converted is really worth it. So we did end up going and tapping our Berserk, and we do now have the Berserk at 21 stars. We'll be keeping it at 21 stars since this does make me permanent 9 set, which is a huge milestone that we had set for ourselves over 2 years ago. So was super hyped about this, and the reason why I'm okay with settling at 21 stars now, besides the fact that the new boss Baldrix is coming out, is because at the end of the day, 21 stars versus 22 stars, they're both technically unfinished items when the new 30-star change does come. The reason why 22 stars was such a prominent milestone to stop at is because obviously the next star is only a 3% chance to go, and the odds of hitting that are very low. But with a new 30-star change coming, pretty much no item is going to be finished now, and the new meta has not necessarily been established yet, and I do believe that most people will be going for 23, 24, and even 25 stars. So that'll be more of where the grounds are to where a item is completely finished and complete. So in my eyes, 21 versus 22, it's practically the same thing in the eyes of a finished item. But for now, we will be keeping the Zerk at 21 stars. Now, right after we did tap the Zerk to 21 stars, we were running our XBM, and wow, what a day this day was, because an exceptional hammer did drop, and This is such a rare drop in Reboot. Having such a low drop rate and being a boss that you can only complete one time every single month is absolutely insane to hit this. But again, that does just go to show in MapleStory, the name of the game is how long can you continue to push on if you're getting bad RNG, because all it really does take in MapleStory is 1 week long. This is something that Joe also dealt with like a year ago, where he was pretty much on an unlucky streak for over a year where didn't make any gains at all, and then all of a sudden you start hitting and hitting and hitting and hitting, and then your RNG turns around. So you pretty much just have to have a strong enough mental to deal with the RNG when it's not great, and be grateful for the RNG when it's in your favor. Because at the end of the day, you have to enjoy playing MapleStory, and not only let your enjoyment be dictated by how lucky or unlucky you get. Obviously, it's hard when you're down bad and you're not making a lot of gains and you're comparing yourself to a lot of other people and you're seeing everyone else around you hit. It can feel pretty bad, but at the end of the day, that's why it's nice when you enjoy the game and you enjoy grinding, which is what I enjoy so much of MapleStory. The grind and pretty much just progressing your character. Even though it is slow at times, it is enjoyable for me to just continue grinding. But that is going to lead into the next segment of the road to max damage, and that is essentially what our goals are going to be in the future to come. Currently, right now, we are sitting at 10.1k Legion. Now, this is another goal on the road to max damage series that we did end up completing, and that was to get 10k Legion. Now, the next goal that I want to have is going to be getting 10.5k Legion. The reason why is because that is going to allow me to fill in this dex block here and finish up the buff duration, and then also complete a few of these strength blocks down here. So that'll be 20, 40, and 60 strength that we'll end up getting, and then finishing the rest of the Legion board. After 10.5k, there really isn't a ton of gains to be made on Legion after that point. So that'll be like our final goal for the Legion for ourselves. And then the next goal for the level is, I think, gonna be 298. Obviously, the big goal is going to be level 300, but I think the best thing to do in life and anything is always set yourself up for long-term, medium, and short-term goals. So I think the next medium-term goal for me is going to be getting to level 298. I think that's where the grind is really going to slow down quite a bit. But nonetheless, I've always said this since the beginning of the Road to Max Damage series. I enjoy the grind so much. I think it's a ton of fun. It's very relaxing. I don't mind it personally. And I think it's just a good way to like turn your brain off and just like relax and enjoy your time. The other goal that I do want to set for myself is to have full SSS Legion champions as well. Currently, we do have the Adele and the Zero at SSS. The Night Lord is sitting at S right now, and I think longer term, I do want to push this to a normal Kalos Mule because, of course, in the Road to Max Damage, it's all about pushing the absolute max of what you can achieve in MapleStory. So I do want to get this Night Lord up to triple S. The next Legion champion character that I am going to be doing is the Evan, of course. That one will probably as well get to triple S ranking, but these things take time and I'm not in a rush to do any of these, but these are going to be the next big goals for ourselves. Now that we've got kind of like the grinding aspect out of the way and the things that we absolutely can control, obviously the next goal is going to be to fully double prime everything on this character. Obviously, we've been working towards double priming everything for a while, but if RNG isn't going that great and you're spending a lot of money in other places like star forcing and whatnot, or Legion champions, you don't have as much money for cubing. But there is going to be a cube sale coming up in November, so we are going to be taking advantage of that. And obviously, we do want to be double priming this Zerk and the rest of our Eternals here, potentially double priming the Daybreak. I'm not really too sure yet. We'll see what we end up doing, and then maybe potentially going for double prime on our secondary. Kind of up in the air with the secondary because I do feel like they're going to release a brand new secondary in a upcoming KMS update, but we'll see what happens in December. And then in terms of boss clears, obviously you want to go for the Sea Kalos solo as soon as possible. That'll probably end up happening sometime this week, but for the future and the Destiny Lib, doing X Saren, Sea Kalos, and obviously hard calling is going to be a big goal to complete. So we'll see how things go with that, but those are going to be the goals set for myself on the table right now, and something for me and you guys to look forward to when that time does come around. And then obviously one of the last and final goals is going to be completing the Eternal set. set. I am going to be settling 21 on the future Eternals until I have all the limbo pieces at 21. I currently am sitting on a 21 star Eternal shoulder right now because I do have the limbo boots at 22. So the cape and the gloves I will be settling on 22, and hopefully we can get to finishing the Eternal set. As a huge final damage gain when you get all of them. That's going to be a goal that I have set, but obviously RNG is going to dictate whether that happens or not. But yeah, guys, that is pretty much where we are at in the road to max damage series. It's crazy that it's been 3 years of gameplay and 3 years of grinding, but it's been a ton of fun, and I hope you guys have enjoyed seeing the process thus far. Definitely have a long way to go to get to level 300 and completing all these other goals that we have set for ourselves, but nonetheless, I am very confident that we'll complete every single goal that we do set out for ourselves. If you guys are enjoying the series, please let me know in the comment section below. And remember, if you guys are having a tough time with RNG or things aren't going your way, it only takes 1 week for your RNG to turn around and you to become one of those ultra omega giga luckers. Okay, guys, so keep your head up, keep grinding, keep enjoying the process, because I'm telling you, your RNG will turn around. But with that being said, guys, that is going to wrap up episode number 10 of the Road to Max Damage series. And in the next episode, hopefully we bring even better news, more content, and more boss clears. But until then, I will see you guys in the next one. Take it easy. Peace.